Does anyone here have a fake account? Or in Vietnamese, we may be more familiar to Act Clong. Yeah. It's a profile created using completely fake, stolen, or automated information that does not represent a real specific person. To make it simple, it is an anonymous social media account that would leave no trace back to you. And also you could use to stalk certain individual. For example, your ex. So does anyone here have one or maybe two or even three fake accounts? Be honest with me. Can I see your hands? Okay. Okay. How many accounts do you have? Three. Okay. How about you? Two. Okay. Any more? 10. Wow. Okay. Can I borrow it sometime? Well, I think that you may have known that using a fake account could be the safest way to navigate online if you don't want to leave any digital footprint. Because people would use it for anything. Online shopping, scouting things, calling things out, arguing with strangers, or quietly peeping through someone's profile. Using a fake account gives you a strange kind of freedom. You can be anyone, you can say anything, or move however you want, on with the feeling that there will not be any real consequences. Whether that's true or not is another conversation. But that that exact sense of freedom is why people are using it. In the last 5 years, with the rise of new social media platforms and the constantly changing algorithm, you don't have to be famous or important anymore to have your opinion being seen and heard. It has become so much easier for people to speak up, find those who agree with them, and feel validated online. But at that same time, the easier it becomes for people to just voice their opinion and get supported. The more people are feeling that they have enough power to judge, to pressure, to impose their views onto others through social media. And that's what brings us to cancel culture. If you have any public figure, a singer, an actor, anyone that you cannot stand for whatever reason, stay with me on this because we are going through how to actually cancel someone online. This is my 3-step framework. Know your SEC. Step 1, know yourself. And yes, I know that it may sound a little bit cliche. Yes, but before you come for somebody on live, at least ask yourself the W's. Why? Why does this person bother you so much? What exactly did they do that trigger you? And when? When did you start to hate them? Because at the end of the day, it's your time, your energy, your attention that you're about to spend on someone that you supposedly hate. So at least do the inner work and be honest with yourself about how far you're going to take this game. Because this is not a game for people with commitment issue. This is a high conviction investment with undefined ROIs. Step 2, know your enemy. Well, if you're anything like me, I grew up watching Detective Conan, CSI, a lot of CSI and other crime dramas. And this is when we put them into good use. Because this is the part where we can all become private investigators. You stalk them. You stalk them hard. Their profile, their old boss, where they went to high school. What else? Their IELTS score, their first payroll, their ex-best friend from 2016. Any dirt you can dig up, any skeleton you can pull out their closets. And weirdly enough, people would become so passionate about it because there's nothing more entertaining than a little detective game on someone you don't like. But this part is important for another reason too. You need receipts, you need proof, you need evidence, anything that you can gather. Because let's be honest, let's not embarrass yourself by building a whole cancellation campaign entirely on assumptions. If you're going to start a war online, listen to me. Do not embarrass yourself. Because if the public reaction to whatever you have to show them is just, that's it? That's everything? Then I would hate to break it to you, but you already lost. And then finally, step 3. Know your crowd. Because cancellation is never a one-person activity. Remember the golden rule. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay? You need teammates. Be a team player. Because this whole thing can only work when other people join in. And then, it's about the presentation, the screenshots, the wording, the timing, the emotional angles. Everything needs to be systematically curated. Because online, people rarely care about the full truth. They will react to whatever feels convincing, relatable, traumatic enough, and easy to share. This is one of the times that sharing is not actually caring. Well, and once the crowd get involved, it stops being about the original issue anymore. It becomes entertainment, a performance. Everybody wants to contribute their opinions, their jokes, their outrage, their moral superiority. And that's how cancellation snowballs. Not because people genuinely care, but because participating makes them feel involved. The FOMO is real on this. And I think that's the scary part about cancellation. Because it rarely starts with people thinking that they are being cruel. Most of the time, people would believe that they are being rightful, they are doing the justice work. It's the hero complex. I'm not saying that you should never criticize anyone online because some action absolutely deserve consequences and discussion. But somewhere between wanting accountability and wanting entertainment, the lines get blurry. Because we also need to recognize how quickly social media can turn real people into characters and serious conversation into a public sport. When thousands of people are participating in tearing someone down, it stops feeling personal, even though there's still a real human being on the other side of the screen. According to a report published by Meta, that 6 out of 10 Facebook users have at least joined an anti-group. Well, it could be out of curiosity, but that means statistically 60% of everyone sitting in this room is hating on somebody right now. 6 out of 10 Facebook users. And if you're sitting there thinking that, wow, it's actually believable, then exactly. because I know not of such reward and I just made the whole thing up. Because online, when somebody says something confidently enough, with enough dramatic pauses and a fake statistic, suddenly they become reliable. And before you know it, people are reposting it like it came straight from a Harvard research paper. So this speech isn't about teaching people how to cancel others. It's about understanding the psychology behind why cancellation can happen so easily online, why it spreads so fast, and why you should probably think twice before joining in. Well, if you notice that I haven't introduced myself in the beginning, because this speech, everything that I have to present is not about me. Because on the internet, people only care who you are if you manage to keep their attention for more than 3 seconds. So if you are still listening now, I think there must be something real between us. And I think we have built a connection stronger than most TikTok relationship. So I guess it's an appropriate time to introduce myself now. My name is Minh Thư, but online I go by Meiti because apparently one identity is no longer enough in this economy. I'm an entrepreneur in media and communication and also a self-employed barista, which is a fancy way to say that I make campaigns by day and caffeine addiction by night. Through my campaigns, I have witnessed the undeniable impact of cancel culture on today's media, as well as the impulsiveness, the misunderstanding, and the mob mentality that often comes with it. So that's why I believe that fully understanding yourself, the person that you disagree with, and the crowd feeling your outrage is essential if we want cancel culture to lose its extremist reputation. Thank you everyone for listening, for not canceling me today, and wish you all a very nice night.